wants you to be. That's wonderful. Wouldn't it be great for God to come and say to you, you are right where you're supposed to be? You are right where you are supposed. Well, just assume you are. Just assume right now you are where God wants you. Do you understand God orders the footsteps of a righteous person? Understand? God's pretty good at that. But anyway, let's go on. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there, what is the first thing he did after that? Oh, I'm right in the middle of God's will. So he built an altar. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. He wanted to worship the one that was guiding his life. He wanted to worship him. And by the way, keep that in mind through this whole sermon. With all of Abram's failures, all of his flaws, all of his mistakes, he still wanted God to be first in his life. Through the whole thing, he wanted God to be first. Was it a failure bringing Lot? Yeah, it was. It was. You got any failures? I love how people like to judge Abraham for bringing Lot. You know, it'd be really tough leaving somebody that you've raised since your brother died, his son. You've made him your own son. It'd be kind of hard to leave him behind. You know, God said, leave your kindred. Oh, yeah, you know what, though? And we do this. We make excuses. You know what, Lot, you've been with me so long. Let's just consider you. See, God's got a plan. And this poor Lot guy, I feel bad for Lot because Lot didn't have much character. Lot was pretty self-centered, and it ended up costing Lot a lot. And his whole life is a different aspect too. You know, Lot could have said, I want to stay back here. God told you this. I want to stay here, but he didn't. But anyway, that's a whole different sermon. But anyway, the first thing Abram did when he got there is he made God first. All right, let's look at verse 8. And he removed from thence unto the mountain on the east of Bethel and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar unto the Lord. Again, he wanted to make God first. He built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed going on still toward the south. Here we go. Okay, where's he getting away from? He's getting away from the promised land. But he's still building an altar. He still wants to make God first in his life. Then things start getting tough. Why? Because he's getting out of where God wanted him to be. And the next verse, and there was a famine in the land. Okay, here it goes. Things are tough. Now, where does Abram need to be? Where does he need to be? Canaan. Right where God promised him to be. Where do you need to be? Right in the middle of God's will. You need to be loving people. You need to be loving him. You need to be doing the right thing. You need to love mercy. You need to walk with him. You need to be in God's will. Okay, Abram's a little bit more specific here because of what's going on. But a famine hit. What do I do? Trust God. Oh, here we go. Oh, the election. I just don't think God hears us anymore. No, trust God. Trust God. Well, it's just trust God. Well, you know, God, he's not going to come. Yes, God will come through. God will not let us down. God will bless. God will take care of us. God will meet our needs. He will bless those that bless Israel. He will bless his people. Just stay faithful. Well, don't throw in the towel. Let's go on. There was a famine in the land, and what did Abram do? He left. Oh, you get out of God's will, you quit on God, it's going to cause you all kinds of problems. Let's go through this real quick. And Abraham went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to entering into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, this is pretty bold, and it's pretty wrong. And he's 75 years old. And Sarah's up there in years too. She's 10 years younger, 65. And he's looking at her and he goes, and I'll put it in today's vernacular, you know, Sarai, you're pretty hot. You're a good-looking woman. She's 60. She is gorgeous. And he knows it. And he knows what all them other guys are going to do too. So, verse 12, therefore it shall come to... By the way, look at where you go. The farther you get away from God, you start doing things you shouldn't be doing. Look, Abram should have never gone there. And what he did was he was causing... You think your wife would trust you after something like that? You don't think that caused problems in the family? Do you not think that she was cuffing him upside the head as they're leaving Egypt? You don't think she was distant? You don't think she shut down from loving him? Look, sin will cost you. It cost them, I guarantee you. But anyway, that's not